right. Uncle Dayo, you can come back, sir. I think the network is bad. So I will remove you, and then once you come back, I will add you back. All right. Let me go to my sister, She Thinker. I don't miss that voice.
Uncle Benno. Good evening, Uncle Benno. Good
How are
evening,
you
Real
doing, my lovely
Fam.
sister? You're
I'm
welcome.
doing okay, thank you. It's been a very busy season for me, so I've not been around for a while. Bear with me, please.
I like that. I like that you are busy because I'm looking for money. At least you go fit me. You fit give me like $1 million where they use.
Eh? Uncle Benno, if I get $1 million, where I know they use it for, no see me. You will not see my brake lights. Holiday every 2 weeks.
Abio, my sister. So,
Thank you for your analysis, Uncle Benno. I
thank
think
you.
it's important, the things that you pointed out at the beginning of the show in terms of identifying the personalities involved in this matter, they're so important because many times we're like sheep. We just forget what is actually relevant because we're easily distractible. And the people who manipulate us know that that's what we are. So the politicians, some religious figures, because not every religious figure is manipulative. And I would dare to say the VDMs of this world, because it's not only VDM who does it. There are a number of people in the public space who, manipulate, whether for sales or just for clout,
Yes.
But this is not the first time that we're seeing his involvement in a story that has spun the story beyond what is actually relevant. And so there was something Uncle Dio said, and I was thinking, because there's so many concerns I have from this whole event, from the parts of it that I've followed. I've not followed everything, but I've followed quite a number of parts. And the things I think are relevant, I will start with the most important things, and then I'll say what I think the distractions are. So what is relevant? What are the issues here? The issues here, let's start number one, is that there was an underage and non-qualified driver driving a vehicle that had an accident. So that was a crime. Who is responsible for crimes, prosecuting crimes? The federal government, the state government.
Mm-hmm.
State government is the one that has responsibility for prosecuting certain crimes. So for certain traffic crimes, it might be the federal government, but generally it's the state government in charge of prosecuting crimes. So where is the government in terms of their responsibility for arresting and prosecuting the person who was driving that vehicle and investigating the company for having an underage driver? Where is the government? That's number one issue. Number two issue is is there any responsibility that the Dangote group has to Ruth or to her family on account of the accident that is not necessarily criminal? And so I'm going to bring in two issues in law here. Number one, the tort of negligence, and number two, the tort of nervous shock. Now, those are civil matters. So if Dangote, and the third issue I'll bring in is something called vicarious liability. If Dangote is the owner of Dangote Holdings, who is responsible for Dangote Holdings? Dangote. If Dangote Holdings Company has a driver that commits a crime, who is responsible for that driver? Dangote Holdings. I hope you're following me.
Yes.
We're drawing an inference here. Now, if they go and their negligence in making sure that they have a proper driver on the road, a well-qualified driver on the road, causes the accident of another, what are they liable for? They're liable for that accident that happened, right? So they need to make that person whole. They need to do everything in their power to make that person whole in a timely manner, because that can lead to further negligence. And if the family of that person does not cry out on time, actually by law, they can say, oh, they didn't mind, so they didn't cry out. And that would be some sort of what in law is called a laches and acquiescence. It means you agreed to the infringement to the negligence that was occasioned against you. And we can see that Phyna and Ruth, well, Ruth's family, I don't want to start with Phyna. I'll say Ruth's family did not agree to the negligence. They immediately cried out, right? And we see the efforts. I don't know whether I'll call it. I don't think it was. First of all, their effort was not immediate, and the question now is left to be asked whether or not the effort was sufficient to prevent Ruth's loss of life. That's a question of fact that none of us can answer because we were not in court. But we know that the effort was not immediate.
Yes.
Okay. So now we've left the question of how the state government or the federal government, as the case may be, should be prosecuting the breach of road traffic laws. We've left that aside. We've left the question of how Dangote is vicariously liable for his company, or his company is vicariously liable for the driver. And if you get to the point of unveiling the company who is behind the company, then him. But let's just talk about the company now. We've left the matter of how the company is supposed to be liable for putting qualified drivers on the road and liable for the negligence that occurred to Ruth. And we're now talking about who? VDM. We're also talking about Phyna. So why are we talking about Phyna? Because Phyna is the direct relative of her sister Ruth. So she is the one that has the onus to come and say, foul, my sister has been injured. She must be treated. Now, let's talk about Phyna. I hope everybody's following me. I'm trying to be quite methodical about this.
No, we are listening. At least
Okay.
you are a legal practitioner, so you have a better understanding of all that is going on.
Oh, thank you, Uncle Ben. So Phyna is the direct relative of her sister. The sister has a baby daddy. By law, is the baby daddy closer to Phyna, or to Ruth, or Phyna is closer to Ruth? Phyna is closer to Ruth. He's not yet married to her. By law, is VDM closer to Ruth, or Phyna is closer to Ruth? Phyna is closer to Ruth. So Phyna goes and shouts, foul, foul. My sister has been injured. My sister needs to be made whole. She approaches the correct people, well, whether using her platform. She does what she knows to do. Now, the question is, in Nigeria, do we have precedence of seeing Dangote or any other trucking company taking responsibility for their negligence occasion to human beings at the loss of life, to where we can say Phyna has a template to use? This is what was used in that situation. This is how she should go about it. No. Even though there are legal ways, for instance, there's a case called Onchekwa and Onobo. The case happened in 1982. Judgment was finally given in the year 2000.
Jesus.
That one, I don't remember. I don't think there was a loss of life there, but it was a case. The locus classicus for something called vicarious liability, which I said where Dangote's company is responsible for the actions of their driver. Yes. So you can see how long cases take in Nigerian courts. So the question is, is there a method that is established that says this is how you do it? This is how you take a matter to a person when the person has caused harm to you by their negligence? No. So people do what they know to do when they are in high pressure situations where there's been loss of life or loss of property or damage to them or their family. You can't say how she did it is right or how she did it is wrong. She only did what she knew to do. She used the platform she had. She called the contacts she had. Now, Uncle Beno, I'm a lawyer. I have a big family. There are people that will call me and say, hey, she thinker, this matter happened to me. What do I do? I'll give them on the spot advice, but I have not therefore become their lawyer automatically. We have to, first of all, discuss the terms of our engagement, and then I'll take notes from what you're talking about. Then I'll give you a contract saying I will represent you. I'm using layman's English here to say I'll represent you. Then I'll confirm your instructions. Then I'll carry out your instructions if I'm going to be representing you as a lawyer. And I also have to have professional indemnity to be doing this. VDM is none of these things. So the fact that Phyna goes to talk to her contact, Uncle Ben, if I come and talk to you, Uncle Ben, say now, like Abby said, I have an event, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. Does that automatically make you responsible for the media coverage of that event? No, you give me your advice.
Yes.
So when we talk about somebody telling somebody about something, now making them feel they're entitled to championing the entire matter, and therefore any activity you go about without them has, for Nigerians now, is a breach of contract with VDM. What's the meaning of that? Who is VDM? On what leg does he have to stand to advocate for her? Yes, he does social media advocacy. Social media advocacy is very different from being a lawyer. It's very different from representing somebody in negotiations, because what Phyna is essentially having, the relationship Phyna was forced to have with the Dangote group on account of this event, is a negotiation. And VDM is not well placed to negotiate for people in such situations. You can clamor on social media. That is called advocacy, social media advocacy. You can make it's PR. Whether it is proper PR or it is bootleg PR, it's still PR, but it's not the same thing as negotiating. And negotiating, there's school for negotiation. People go and get their chartered negotiations. That's apart from people who study law, who are lawyers. Some people still go further and qualify as negotiators. So we can't say all of a sudden, because she spoke, and like Abby rightly said, he's her Edo brother, for lack of a better word. VDM is from the Auchi area. This matter apparently happened in Auchi. VDM is a social media advocate. She has social media clout. You know how celebrities are in Nigeria. It's like a tribe of its own. She talks to her celeb brother who has clout, says, see what don't happen. See what happened to my family. Put mouth, I beg. Does that mean you now must be carried along? First of all, as a Dangote, as a business person, no business person will answer you when you bring, if you bring the person is quiet. But if you bring somebody who is a known rabble rouser as your co-negotiator, what leg? Are they professional negotiators? Are they your lawyer? No. And the person negotiating with is entitled to say, no, I will not negotiate with this person because this person does not have a stake in this matter. You're not a stakeholder. You're not her family. So I want us to begin to focus back on what is relevant and who is relevant in this matter. So who is relevant is Phyna. How she went about it is how she knew to go about it. Now, as to the question of whether or not she acknowledged publicly that Ruth was married or Ruth was not married, we know how things are in Nigeria. There's a lot of, unfortunately, backlash for single mothers. There's a lot of backlash for single women who are of a certain age. We know how things are. If Phyna immediately came out and said, Ruth is married, Ruth has children, she's not married, and this person, do you know there are ways in which Nigerians are saying, some Nigerians are saying that it was the way she didn't carry VDM along is what gave rise to her sister's dying. So now you say we put it in the public domain. Let's say 1 week, 2 weeks before Ruth died, we put in the public domain that she was a single mother. Do you know there are Nigerians that will say, what was she doing in Auchi? Maybe she's not even supposed to be living in Auchi. Maybe she was just doing runs there. Why is anybody complaining? Single mothers, they cry all the time. Do you understand? There are people who will cook up, they'll find justification for what happened to her on account of the fact that she's unmarried and a mother at that age. So, and the other thing is that it was nobody's business. Whether she was married or she's not married, what happened to her happened to her. So I think it's important for us to get back to the main issues of the case, which I've outlined already. Is the Dangote group responsible for this matter? Yes. Did they take immediate action? No. Did they take sufficient action after they took action? That's not for me to say. That's facts of the case. Is Phyna right in the action she took? Yes, because we cannot tell a person how to act when they're hurt. You cannot beat somebody, tell them not to cry. Yes, thank you very much, D. That's called a duty of care and a breach of duty of care causation. Thank you very much. You go to school. Your parents do not waste money.
She's a lawyer.
Thank you very much. God bless you, my colleague.
With you now, we have you, Shitinka, Oyade, Misty, and D. 5 lawyers that I know of that at least they come here and help us break things down. So that's why they look as soon as they analyze her now. My own Agbero style, now I know.
Uncle Beno, nothing Agbero about your style. All those information you outlined for us at the beginning, you gave us. The thing is, we don't know who we're dealing with in Nigeria. Many times people will be thinking Saint VDM of all the archangels. We don't know who we're dealing with, content creators or advocates. And like I said, social media advocacy. And again, sometimes bootleg advocacy. Somebody that feels like because you didn't carry me along, therefore the case went south. Main character syndrome.
Have you landed, my sister, so that I can ask one or two questions?
Uncle Beno, make I reduce my blood pressure. I don't land by the grace of God.
Thank you for breaking it down from legal perspective. You see, this is what I was talking about, because earlier before we had this show, I actually have to address the real family, the backstage, to let them know that I can't run away from this topic. I know we are kind of divided. Some people like VDM, some people have their own reservation for VDM. And me, as somebody who run a platform, this is our platform. This is where we come, we share knowledge and everything together. I can't say because VDM is involved, he's a polarized figure, then I'm not going to do the show.
Yeah.
Then that defeats all the
purpose.
I have a platform in the first place. I believe some
Absolutely.
people will be learning from this conversation now. Okay. So, Shitinka, first off, what I wanted to ask is this. Should Phyna attempt to go and negotiate with the Dangote group without a lawyer? Because she said it. I have a video. I just don't want to play many of Sorry, my sister. She said
Thank
it
you. Excuse
in one
me.
of her video that, hey, Dangote people have sent me letter that from now on, any other communication is going to be between me and their lawyer. I'm not even suing you people. I don't know if you saw that video.
Yes, I think I saw that
I'm
one.
not suing you people. Then you now told me because the list I sent to you, it was written on a letterheaded paper. I just said, let us put it down. When I heard that, I ain't going to lie to you. I was irritated. I'm one of those people with the opinion that we have a lot of educated illiterates in Nigeria. Please, people, don't vessel. Let me define what I mean by educated illiterate. You go to school for a reason. I've always said it here that going to the university will not determine whether you will be successful or not. What determines if you're going to be successful is when you understand that you go to the university to acquire universal knowledge and then apply that knowledge when it matters. Part of applying that knowledge when it matters is knowing when to consult, knowing when to call professionals. When you are trying to do the job of a professional, the people you are dealing with, they know way better than you. So let's clarify that for those who are watching right now, who might see somebody or someone may not happen to us that might find themselves in a situation whereby they have to deal with a corporation. Because people don't know. Everybody, Dangote. Frankly speaking, Dangote, they where they sip coffee or drinking wine. The Dangote is an individual. The company is an entity of its own that is running on its own. So when they're going to deal with you, they are not dealing with you from a place of emotion. They are dealing with you from a place of profit and loss. I don't know if you get me, Shitinka.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that? Phyna trying to negotiate on her own.
Uncle Beno, the challenge is that Nigerians have an aversion to lawyers and to legal procedure, generally speaking. Generally speaking, it's not like America that, first of all, people are afraid of the cost of lawyers. They're not afraid of the cost of not using a lawyer. There's a cost.
God bless you.
And the other thing is, for instance, in my line of work in law, only 20% of disputes make it to the courts. And of those 20%, maybe another 80% are settled out of court. Thirdly, the third thing I'll say is for most people, for Phyna is still a young lady. The truth is many people do not know. They're scared when lawyers get involved. They don't know. And the thing is, unfortunately, they don't know that, if you in fact, when I saw one of the letters written by one of our lawyers, I was like, Me too, I'll be a little afraid. Let me know, like, God forgive me, please. But the thing is, it's best, please, for anybody listening, before I say this, many people don't know how to act in situations like this. And it is not wrong for Phyna to immediately cry out and approach Dangote to start with without a lawyer and then get a lawyer on board. So the first thing is, don't let somebody, in Yoruba, there's a saying, somebody farts in your mouth and pours water. Don't, or bites you and blows air. Don't let somebody sit on your right and then you just let it go. No. Try and say something. Say, you're sitting on my right, or you're sitting on my right. You have occasioned harm to me. You have caused, you have broken it. You had a duty of care. You breached it. So first things first, approach the company. But once you've approached the company, as soon as you can, get a lawyer. Get a lawyer. Get a lawyer. I understand that sometimes with the legal process, if it gets to litigation, it can take time. But many cases don't get to litigation. There can be mediation, negotiation, conciliation. So I'm seeing what D is writing. You've forgotten that it was negligence back and forth involving David and Sophia that brought. Oh, sorry, that's something else.
That's how
Yeah.
dear I became brother and sister. We were,
Oh, right.
we were dragging that Sophia and the widow matter.
Okay. So I think, first of all, please, dear Nigerians, if anything happens to you, God forbid that anything should happen to you, please, God forbid. There's so many people I know that have advised them, go to court, get a lawyer, or take a matter to court. They sat on it, then the thing went and screwed them up.
Mm-hmm. People
As
don't know.
so many people have advised, and it hurts to watch. But you only know what you know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we need to get people out of that aversion to lawyers. It will cost you not to use a lawyer. People don't spend 6 years plus X studying law for nothing. It's not my, it's not beans. It
Yeah.
will cost you not to get a lawyer. Get one.
Yeah.
I know sometimes you have issues of trusting the lawyer. If you don't trust the lawyer, get another one.
Yeah, people don't know. People
Do you
don't
think
know.
that, sorry, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure.
Do you think there's a factor that a lot of Nigerians have seen that they've gotten more from making noise on social media than going through the legal route? Because like you said, it's not like America where people's first thought is, oh, let me call a lawyer. Even there's so many little things I want to do. I'm calling my family as a lawyer just because I don't want to jabber. Obviously, there's also a cultural issue there where people think they can handle things themselves. It's the same idea when you think a lot of Nigerians think they can beg themselves out of nonsense behavior. Please, sir, please, forgive me. Right? It's the same idea, that nonsense culture. But do you think that we have a lot of people that think, if I can draw attention to this, if I get clout, if I get the numbers and now I have 20 million impressions, there'll be pressure put on these people to just do the right thing, if that makes sense? Because it's almost like we've seen it play out over and over again, where that kind of seems to work faster than going the legal route.
I think that is Abby, I respect your view on many things, but I think that is not quite a guided view. I think that's misguided, and I'll explain.
No, not me. I'm not saying
Because
that.
not
It's not
you,
me that
many
don't
people.
talk.
Yes,
I'm
yes, I
saying
know
that.
it's
Do
not
you,
your
do you
view.
understand where I'm coming from with the way
Yes,
Nigerians think
100%.
about
Yes,
social
with the way
media?
Nigerian, 100%. I agree. And I think that when Nigerians think that way, they're misguided. I'll tell you why. What have we got from social media?
Clout.
We've been chasing ghosts. We've been running around in circles. We've been pursuing the latest apparition of, justice, and nothing. The only thing I'll say is that, okay, if social media can get us something, why can't we do both?
Yeah.
There is a place for PR advocacy and social media advocacy, but it cannot be at the expense of legal advocacy. Because let me tell you what happens. Social media does not compel anybody. It can motivate, but it does not compel, especially when you're dealing. Okay, so things like this thing that happened with Fina's sister, right? Let me tell you what comes in. It's the insurance of the Dangote group holdings that would have paid for anything that happened to Fina's sister. For the insurance claim to be made, many times insurance companies are very reluctant. So the kind of negotiation and kind of soliciting backwards and forwards, the letter work, the paperwork that will be done between Phyna's lawyers and Dangote's lawyers. First of all, they will know that if Kasala boss, if this girl buys, the matter is, is already, there's already legal legwork on the matter. And so they'll be hard pressed, do everything in their power, because if there's a fine, then the case now becomes something called a wrongful death.
Yes.
So they will do everything in their power. But the insurance claim, if their insurance has to pay out on this matter, their premiums go up.
Yes.
And sometimes some companies can now struggle with getting certain insurance coverages that they need or whatever, if they have too much of a certain event happening. But if all the Nigerians who have been hit, who have lost loved ones on account of Dangote, let me give you a scenario. If all the Nigerians who have lost loved ones on account of Dangote trucks, all of them get lawyers, or all of them got lawyers when it happened, and then they made claims against the insurance on the Dangote company, and those were forced to pay. The premium that our uncle Dangote will be paying will not be small. Then those who were present when it happened, or they were somehow, even if me, because I still feel like the thought of nervous shock can be argued, even if you were not, physically present, but you were handling the matter, and something about the way the matter was done, there was negligence that occasioned shock to you. Because I saw that Phyna was in hospital on account of, I don't know whether it was true, but I saw a video of Phyna herself in hospital or lying down flat, looking like she'd passed out on account of the death of her sister. There's something called nervous shock. The thing has to have happened in your presence. And the thing has to have caused you shock, right? On account of that's the negligence of the other party that occasioned to somebody close to you. You have to have a sufficient link between this person, yourself, and the person that was hurt. So if all the Phynas of this world, who are sisters of Ruth, who have been affected by Dangote trucks, sued for, number one, the negligence deaths of their loved ones, then number two, the nervous shock that happened to them on account of, do you know the amount of waking up on responsibility that all trucking companies will do in Nigeria?
Yeah.
And no social media can put any pressure on anybody's insurance company, because insurance companies, they don't care if you're not making a claim the correct way. They don't give two hoots.
At all. Thank you, Shitinka. Thank you. I think you really bring it 100. But please let me just borrow you just for two more questions. I beg.
Sure, sir. No wahala at all.
In this case, let's take VDM out of the situation. Let's focus on settlement now. Ruth has a father, Mr. Otabo. She have kids, and there is Phyna, who is entitled to the compensation that they are going to pay. Who should it go to? The father or the sister? Or something that's true?
I'll start by saying, who is Ruth responsible for? Ruth is not really responsible for her father. She's responsible for her children.
Yeah.
Even though in Nigeria, we are responsible for our parents to some extent. So our parents, the way an estate is handled, a person's property is handled when they've died, is whether or not they died with a will or they didn't die with a will. Now, even if Ruth had a will, the will could not have covered things such as insurance payouts, because she didn't know this was going to happen to her. And the other thing is, the person who is advocating for her estate, even after her death, is going to spend money. Excuse me. So if things are done properly, the person advocating for her death should continue to advocate for her death, but there will need to be something documented to say that if there's a payout, the cost of advocating for her death will have to be taken from the payout, and then the people she's responsible for should be money should go to them. Now the ratio is going to be handled by either the court or by the agreement of the people she's responsible for. If those people are minor children, then most likely the court will appoint two administrators of estate who will decide how the property should be shared. And now we're not even talking about property, because she was quite a young lady. We don't know what she owned or didn't own. We're talking about insurance payouts.
Yeah.
So it's quite
I thought you finished, sorry.
No, sorry, you go on.
I wanted to ask you a question. So in this case where Ruth has passed on, right?
Yeah.
Phyna is her sister. Her dad is alive.
Yes.
Like her dad is alive. Who? So let's say Dangote wakes up this tomorrow morning and says, "I have 100 million." Just as obviously, I don't know, without anything. He just, oh, I feel so bad. That's forget Dangote group or Dangote himself wakes up in the morning and says, "Oh gosh, I feel so bad. I couldn't sleep. I have 200 million for this family." Who would they hand it to tomorrow? Without involving anything. Let's say it's from Dangote's pockets. He's not saying don't take my company to court. He's not saying let's not. He just feels so bad, and he wants to give them 200 million. Who is he handing it to tomorrow morning?
If Dangote really feels bad enough, if his conscience pricks him enough,
Bad enough.
No vex, eh? No vex. And I know why I bust laughter. Do I okay? I think I'll beg you. Never start. See the comment.
No, but it's true. As everybody will fight, but
Fight go boss for that one.
but legally, who are they giving it to?
that's what I would say.
Phyna's parents or Phyna?
I'm coming. If that's why I said if Dangote feels bad enough, right? He shouldn't. His goal would not be so much as giving 200 million and taking his hands off of it. It will now. That's where his CSR, his corporate social responsibility, will come in, and his own PR machine will come in. He'll set up a trust for those kids.
For the kids,
and
okay.
he'll set up something that takes care of them on an ongoing basis. He'll also give something to the father, give something to Phyna. Those are people that have corporate social responsibility at the heart of their business policies. Because in this case, it's messy. Yes, the children should inherit all that the mother has, but right now the children are not old enough to advocate for themselves.
Yeah, 5
So
years old.
Phyna is there. Excuse me, and Phyna can be appointed by a court as their guardian ad litem. Please, D, correct me if I'm wrong. But Phyna has not been in Nigeria. Most times, you don't get appointed as a guardian; you just take on the role.
Like, yeah, legally. But I'm saying now that why Phyna? Why not the father? That's my question.
Well, again,
Is there a
you can
reason?
give the father, but if we're talking about the same father that seemed to be heaping responsibilities on Phyna soon after she won BBN, if he be say the money will go to the father and the money will not the children, I'm not wanting to cast aspersions on Mr. Otabo because God bless him, he's lost a child. It's a lot to deal with. But based on the stories we have in the social media space of Phyna's own complaints after she won some money, I personally, as somebody who doesn't want any matter to come against, if I was Dangote, God forbid that I'll ever be in the shoes of, I don't even want to be the richest person in Africa, but if I was ever in those shoes where I was vicariously liable for this kind of thing, I would make sure that there is a trust set up for these kids, money released to them periodically in terms of their school fees, their clothing, their shoes. They will not even be seeing the money, but they'll just know that they're taken care of.
For life. For
life.
Yeah.
That's what I would think they would do as well. I'm just wondering what will happen because, like I said, there's no way anybody will bring money and it will not be a fight of who. Even the baby daddy now will come and start screaming.
Yes, because
and
even
I
the stories we saw,
baby daddy into this at all because he's irrelevant in my opinion. You're a baby daddy.
Don't start
You should
to.
have,
anyway,
you should have married this girl if you cared.
Anyway, let's move on real quick so that we can round it up. For everybody watching, thank you very much. Please hit the like. I see we still have 38 likes. We should have taken that like to 40 by now. Please, if you haven't liked the show, kindly hit the like. Let's have this vote real quick. Who should receive the compensation for roots? Is it father, Phyna, partner, or children? Please drop your take in the chat real quick. So who should receive the compensation? Now, I'm beginning to see a bigger issue here. Like I said, there are so many things I could have said previously when we were going back and forth. But because of the gbasgbos going on between Rattels and Phyna supporters and all the drama, I just feel like at my age, I don't want to get mixed up with all of those nonsense. I wanted to focus on Dangote and Tinubu for a minute here. This is just me speaking. I think Dangote Group has been playing Phyna from the get-go. And this is why I think so. Hey, God bless America. if you live in America, whether you like it or not, you go know law by fire by force, because people they get case every day. If you they watch news, you they read paper, you go they learn. So corporation don't give an F about anybody. When accidents happen, their goal is to pay the barest minimum compensation that they can pay, especially when it involves vehicle or people having injury or anything like that. They are very crazy set of people. For instance, here in America, when somebody hits your vehicle, if you are involved in an accident, and the fault is from the other driver, and the other driver admitted that it's at fault, you will exchange insurance and all of that. This is where we both act so fast than us. The person who is at fault, we call his insurance quick. Especially if now Yimbo, any of our people living in US, maybe this knowledge can help you. They will call their insurance quick, right there on the spot, and tell the insurance that they have crashed into your vehicle and they are at fault. They will give all the details. They will give your vehicle information, everything. You will be surprised that the next day or third day, depending on the severity of the accident, their insurance will call you. Because immediately they are calling their insurance, they are from your plate number, they can extract all the information about you. So immediately they are calling their insurance, the insurance is going into their database, they are extracting your information, they will see if you are a clean driver or a rough driver. So the moment they say that you don't have record, you drive clean, no, and when they consider the accident that is really terrible, they will act fast, they will call you. The reason they are calling you is they wanted to negotiate with you as fast as possible. Shitinka, you live in the US, right?
No, I live in the UK.
Oh.
But it's not much different.
With you guys, right? Those who live in the US, please let me know if I'm right or wrong. So they will call you real quick. The next day or day after, they will call you. The moment they call you, they will start telling you, oh, we are sorry for the accident. Our party say is at fault. We're going to take care of it. Or do you need a vehicle? You need rental vehicle? They will be so nice, but they will still ask you to describe what happened. The moment they are asking you to describe what happened, they wanted to see if there are anything they can use against you. When they are telling you all of that, they will sound so nice. And if you're not smart enough to catch them on their game, you will begin talk. You two want to be nice. This is where the Nigerian thing comes in. A typical Nigerian will say, the moment they call from in mind, go say, wow, these people are nice. Oh, I haven't even called lawyer or call anybody. They have called me. So when they say, are you okay? Do you have to go to the hospital? Are you sure? And you're like, I'm okay. I'm fine. My leg is okay. My hand is moving. They are recording you. Just forget that you can't claim anything on injury again.
Yep. 100%. That's it.
Make you the yell. Then they will go to your vehicle. Can you tell me what happened? Where did it happen? Where are you coming from? They will ask you a lot of irrelevant questions. But the way they're gonna ask you, it will sound as if they are on your side. A typical Niger person will now become holy. You'll now be saying, oh, I was actually coming, I went to a friend's birthday and we were coming and he just, he hit me. I don't think it was really that. Some people.
I had a sip of wine. It wasn't a lot, and I wasn't drunk.
Mama.
And it was still his fault. I just had only a sip of wine, but I just came back from a party. Don't be for you.
So I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying now, but I don't want to distract you. I just bring that in for those who have you watching right now to know that from the moment that accident happened, the Dangote team, they have started working. Remember, they removed plate number. The driver was in the police station. They went to the police. They don't want anybody to come in. Now, I'm not accusing Dangote of anything. I'm talking about the corporation now. I think from the get-go, they have been playing Phyna all along. But Phyna did not realize that. The moment Phyna involved Very Dark Man, And Very Dark Man blew the case out of proportion. The Dangote team changed strategy. Why am I fixing all of these things together? How come root partner, root father, everybody, the entire family, nobody is talking except Phyna? I don't know if you get me, my sister. Which kind of father? I go jam your picking like that. You don't go talk, you don't go do anything. Nobody they talk. I'm just saying, I think they got to the father. All
first.
Phyna was calling Very Dark Man. So they went straight to the father.
To the father.
They the police station, clear up whatever they want to clear up, make statement, do everything, probably tell the driver what's another year. Then they went straight to Phyna's father.
And if Phyna and her father are not on good terms or don't know what they're not acting in the same from the same hymn sheet, then Phyna is fighting a different battle from what her father is fighting.
Sorry, please let me take everybody back a little bit from the start, right? When it happened, when Phyna made that video crying in the car, do you remember the very, very first video we saw? What was said, and when Kate Henshaw jumped in, remember the first celebrity to talk about this that went viral was Kate Henshaw. What they said was that they had hidden the driver, right? First of all, the driver, it was a hit and run. The driver was running. It was pedestrians, or I don't know what to call them, passers-by, that chased the driver down, and he was forced to stop. That's the first thing to note. The second thing is they managed to drag him to the police station, right? And then these people now went behind everybody's back because nobody was watching. And then they removed the car, car plates to hide that it was a Dangote truck. Do you guys remember this?
Yeah.
Those were the few details that we had out from the very first couple days of this strategy. So they tried to hide their tracks, and then the next thing, the driver was nowhere to be found at the police station. And that's why I corrected in the comment section that this particular driver, we don't know if he's underage, we don't know if he was drunk, we don't know anything about him. That thing that she thinks said about underage driver is the general idea of most people that know about Dangote drivers, not this particular case. It's the general stereotype of the drivers is that they're usually underage and they're usually under the influence of something. Because if you guys remember, before this issue happened, a couple weeks ago, there was a trendy video of a girl that was making a video of a Dangote truck driver who is 17 and was saving money for his tuition fees. And she was asking, 17 and driving a truck, you should be in school. So he came out on X and asked for people to help donate money to him so he could stop driving a truck and go back to school. So that is where that whole story of their underage, they're always under the influence came from. It's not from this particular case.
Thank you for that.
All right.
I want to also remind you guys that yes, it is very true that Dangote went behind the scenes to talk to Phyna's dad, because again, Uncle Beno, we're all Nigerians. She thinks we're Nigerian. We know that he's a typical older man that is poor, and even 10 million naira could be given to him at that moment to keep short, unfortunately. However, I think it's important to remember that Phyna controls the affairs of her family because she's the breadwinner of her family. In typical Nigerian fashion, she's also the celebrity. Now, me don't make her. So anything I say is what you do. Are you guys understanding me? So remember those two things.
So I just wanted to bring that into the conversation, and I just want people to just learn. Anything will happen, just take and learn. In case you see people will find themselves in the situation, you go know what to advise them. So this is not the first rodeo for the Dangote group. You know, be the first time whether they jam people or anything. So it's not new. They already have their format. And that's why I think the involvement of Very Dark Man brought a kind of surprise direction to the whole thing. It wasn't as usual like it used to be. But at the same time, they've already mapped out what they want to say, because that's why I'm glad Shitinka came. God bless you, my sister. If we don't look at it from legal perspective, all of us go just they jump here and there, just they talk this one, talk that one. At the end of the day, corporation will not deal with you as an individual. Now, through legal process, now they'll take everything do. So just like we are asking now, corporation will be looking at who are we settling? Is it this one that is shouting yeah, 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 or the father? So the victim has kids, he get father. And thank you, D. Just like D said, and I'm highlighting it now. D said the priority is the spouse. No spouse, then the kids. No kids, then the parents. No parent, then the sibling. So for anybody that is watching now, especially for those in place like Nigeria, there are priority, there are orders to this thing. So all this one where they do, Phyna call 1 billion. This one did it. If Phyna call 5 billion, it doesn't matter. I don't know the problem with Nigerians. Somebody's life is lost already. Even if you claim 5 billion, let her claim now corporation. But that is not the matter here. The thing is, according to this
formula
from D right now, Phyna is at number 4 in the number of people who can get money from Dangote. That's how the making us people make noise for their own pocket. And that is why Dangote, like I said, that picture they took with the father, now evidence for court.
Now statements.
Abi, my sister.
No, you're right, Uncle Beno. And I think when things like this happen, like you said, when the insurance company that will call you, they're exploiting, they're very nice, but they're exploiting fault lines that you may have. And in this case, fault lines in the family. So the family is not singing from the same hymn sheet, possibly. So we can see already that the baby daddy was singing from a different hymn sheet from Phyna, and very likely the father was singing from a different hymn sheet from Phyna.
Exactly.
And once the father is settled, Dangote company will not. The matter is unfortunately finished. We don't know that it is finished right now. But Phyna is not responsible as such for her. Like Dee said, it's Phyna's father first of all responsible for Ruth's estate because that's his child. Before Phyna will be responsible. If Phyna's father and Phyna and her father had agreed that she would be the one representing the family in this negotiation, that would be different. Because if Dangote came talk to the father, he would say, "No, talk to my daughter. She's the one handling this matter."
Exactly.
But if they're not in agreement, then the man could have collected any whatever and signed any whatever and said the family has been made whole. And the matter has not really been addressed because they're exploiting the fault lines in the family.
Yeah. Well,
and companies are strategic. They are protecting their bottom line.
Exactly. I want to make this projection. I think the reason I think what is probably affecting Phyna right now is the moment they sent that letter to Phyna and said, from now on, every communication will be through our lawyer. I'm suspecting the lawyer have probably reached out to Phyna and let Phyna knows that we have spoken to your dad. Your dad is the father of the disease. So we take everything up with your dad. And since Phyna did not do the right thing first, if Phyna has been the one to sue, what she think help us break down earlier, that any amount where she spend everything, they will take it out of that compensation. It will make sense, but she never sue anybody till now. So I don't think a corporation will have any business to do with you if you are not suing them or you are not bringing a lawyer to talk to them. So they will probably be the one to make move. And if you look at the statement they released immediately Ruth passed, they say they have been responsible and they have taken accountability, both financially, everything, that they have been taking care of the family. I believe everybody saw that statement, right? I think.
Yeah, and Phyna also said that they had stopped talking to her, that the rep is no longer answering her calls. They're no longer speaking to her.
Because they have no business with Phyna.
Yeah.
I have a question though.
Yes, Abby.
She think also let us know. Because here's the thing, I think we've forgotten that there's also a situation whether or not Dangote doesn't pay out, who is going to start looking after the children?
I don't understand.
If Dangote doesn't pay out, who's going to start looking at the children?
The reality
I'm
is
getting somewhere with this question. If Dangote doesn't pay out, who's going to look after the children?
The reality is that the responsibility is supposed to be with the parents, but the reality of Nigerian society is that it's going to be Phyna.
Based off of the story that I've told everybody about Phyna,
we know it's going to be Phyna. No, sorry, I didn't hear the earlier part of what you were saying because I was driving.
I
to be Phyna.
How dysfunctional her family is, right?
Right.
Which is the same reason why if Dangote goes to their dad, That's what I'm saying about it. That every time we think they're not like
Mm.
us. If God forbid something happens to any of my siblings, and anybody goes to my dad will call me.
Yeah.
My dad will call me and my other we're three. My dad will call me and my other
The
sibling.
other one, yeah.
This is what they're saying. Oh, yeah, come and sit down, let's talk. But because of how dysfunctional this family is and how poor
Mm.
they are, it is only normal, unfortunately, in the way Nigeria is set up, for Dangote to go behind their back, because guess the person they're going to get the least pushback from.
Yeah, and they pay the least amount of money to,
Thank you.
and
Fina's
they may
dad will
never
collect. Now
even
where I'm seeing
care
that
about
man with everything
responsibility for the children.
he will collect 10 million naira. That man will collect 5 million if you give him, because a lot of these sort of families, they don't have long what's called foresight. 5 million naira is big money, bam, at the moment. They don't see it as 5 million naira will finish like this.
Yeah,
Do you
that's the
understand?
situation.
So I'm saying that outside of all of these things, if Phyna, because that's why I actually think, also said, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, if Phyna has evidence of how dysfunctional her dad is, how terrible the relationship is with Ruth, how she's the one that's been looking after the family, looking after Ruth, looking after the children, why would Dangote go and settle with the dad? Didn't she try to clarify that for us?
You guys are
I'm
in
not sure if
Nigeria.
I did, but
Please, can you clarify? It's crazy. Besides, obviously, you already said
what
that she
I'll
put the
say
money in
is,
trust, etc. But there's still a very high
yeah,
chance that when it comes to even emotional care, all of that stuff, based off of the story that we know of Phyna's dad, if she can prove it, why would they want to do that?
the question is, that's not the right thing to do morally, but what morals and legals are sometimes divergent in terms of morally. The thing is, he will say their family wahala is not his business. His own is trying to protect his company, and what he can do legally is what he's settled whoever was who was it that was, there was another matter that was in social media space a couple of weeks ago, where a girl was she lived in a compound with a number of people, and a young lady felt responsible for this young girl who was in a compound. There are a number of coppers there, and this teenager was very studious and all of that, and she was encouraging the girl to study. And then one time she just didn't see the girl anymore, and then maybe like a year later she saw the girl selling akara, and she felt so bad, and she asked the girl, and the girl was carrying a baby, and she was wondering, like, what's wrong with you? What happened? Where did you drop off? And then the girl said, she told her that one of the coppers in the compound had raped her. And so the mother had sent her to the village to have the baby. But as she was talking to this person who had taken an interest in her, the mother just came from behind or somewhere, and she slapped the girl and said, what lies are you telling this girl? And then she said, what lies are you telling this woman? Leave the matter. What are you talking about? And then the mother now said to her, don't mind her. She was going around playing with different people. And then later on, when she had access to the girl to talk to her again, the girl said that the copper who'd done it had gone and given the mother 100K, and that settled the matter for the mother. The mother now turned her mind against her own child, sent the girl to the village to have the baby, and that 100K settled. That was it. She didn't have to be responsible for the child anymore. The girl's future was just cut short. And people who manipulate the fault lines in a family, if you have a family that's loving and you people can have good conversations and have decisions and be of the same mind, don't know what God has done for you.
Honestly.
And please protect it.
Yes, so
Because if you have an irresponsible person at the apex of your family, now today pray every day.
Wahala don't come be that.
Wahala.
Thank you, Abi and Shitika. Let just help me wrap it up with this. The government. From the get-go, when I did one episode on this matter and I said betrayers, I asked our real fam, who do you think is the real betrayer here? I had VDM, Phyna, and Dangote. A lot of people, some say VDM, some say Phyna, and then few people pick Dangote. Frankly speaking, I picked Dangote as the betrayer based on that show. But looking at the whole thing comprehensively now, the government to me is the betrayer of all time here. I just see Phyna and Very Dark Man as victim of circumstances here. I think the government is the one that give Dangote the free access to do whatever he wants to do. By the way, Shitinka and Abi, please help me clear my head small. The silence from the government on this case, can you help me make it make sense? I
Uncle
don't.
Beno, let me draw graph for you.
I will clear your head for you.
Let me draw graph. Abby, you want to go first?
All I'm going to say, I will let she think I go from a legal perspective, but let me just say something. I can't remember the last time in my adult years that I have not seen Dangote in a picture with the president of the country before they were president during their campaign. That's all I'm going to say. She think I can go.
Bam. Okay. So I'm going to
Welcome
say
back, M5. Go ahead, ma. Go ahead.
okay. So I'm going to say Ruth is the tragic victim. Phyna is the victim. Very Dark Man is the distractor or distraction. Dangote is the manipulator and the one who cashed in. And the government is the betrayer.
All right.
So,
but can you explain that quietness from the government? Please.
Because, okay, so where the government is supposed to come in, first of all, it starts with police. The first thing, police arrest the man, the driver, arrest this driver. Whatever traffic laws he broke. If somebody else hits somebody, they will arrest the person. So why not arrest this driver? Arrest this driver, then take him to court. First of all, find the facts of what caused the accident. Take him to traffic court. There are people who it can be it can be manslaughter, it may not be murder, because I don't think he woke up that day and said, I'm going to jam somebody. But it could be reckless driving. I don't know what the traffic crimes are. But a crime is a crime if you commit a crime by driving recklessly. And it doesn't mean it's murder, so it's not capital punishment. But if you do something that causes somebody harm, first of all, they may release you on bail because the person was not immediately fired. But we are forgetting that there was a motorcycle man who fired on the spot. So the matter should have been investigated. And usually it will be state police, or it's not VIO, what's the name of the other one? Road safety.
Yeah, road safety.
Road safety. So state police is not state police, it's police, it's all federal police, but the matters are usually a state against, criminal matters are usually a state against the accused person. Then the civil matter will be Phyna and her family all together have family meeting, decide who is going to bring this case forward, and sue on behalf of Ruth and collect compensation.
Thank you, my sister.
So there are two matters here, a criminal matter and a civil matter. And none of them is being treated properly. Or neither of them, I should say. Dee, thank you so much for the compliment. Oh, I appreciate you, my learned colleague.
At all. Well,
then do you guys remember that case a couple months ago, earlier this year? I think it was in March or April, where a man, he goes by TJ, his name is Aditunje Opagele, the guy who is now based in Canada, the tech bro that went back briefly and was on a bike, and some woman hit him.
Yes.
Do you remember that for that whole time, this woman was in her car making calls while this guy was bleeding away? She said she did not want him to come into her car, to stay in her car.
Can you imagine?
Do you guys remember this story?
I do.
Okay. So this is not the average poor citizen. This is, I would say, a little bit higher than middle class, because she apparently, her uncle, her father is something, if you guys remember. TJ himself is a man that has worked his way up. He has raised a lot of money for his tech, whatever, gone into a couple of businesses. In fact, at that time, I remember I was on Mom of Five's life, and I remember that I had worked with him briefly as well in some tech company called Microtraction, when they were outsourcing my services at the time because they didn't have permanent staff. But now they've grown and they have that. And that is someone who lives in Canada, was only in Nigeria briefly for whatever engagements he had. And that happened to him. He's not a poor Nigerian. So I say this to say that, what do you not think will happen with Dangote? This is the reality of being Nigerian. And really and truly, the government is to blame, because whether it's road safety, whether it's FRCI, whatever it is, there has to be a process. This is what happens at this point for you to have a business. This is, I mean, here in the UK, we do, I'm sure there's something similar in the US as well, where we do MOTs. And I'm sure when it comes to truck driving and stuff like that, there's even more what's it called, clearances they have to have.
Oh, no, Abby, in Nigeria, bear in mind, there are systems, there are processes. In Nigeria, what we call MOT in the UK, they call it roadworthiness. And your car has to have a certificate of roadworthiness. The question is, there's no will. There's no will to actually...
I'm going to send something to the backstage where I read how, even with Nigeria, it starts with you and I. Do you know what the person asked? The person asked a question. How many of you guys went to proper driving schools, learned the road signs and all in Nigeria? My brother drove in Nigeria. I don't remember this boy going to. Every single boy that I went to school with, they knew how to drive. They did not go to driving school.
Let me tell you what I did.
They learned
Let me tell you what I did. Let me tell you what I did. You're right. It starts with all of us. And by the grace of God, I can put my hand on my chest. I learned from the driver, but I was only allowed to drive in the neighborhoods in accordance with the driving rules. I got a learner's permit, and I did not drive on the major roads until I got a driver's license. And I did not even get a driver's license in Nigeria. So I never drove on major road in Nigeria.
That is the same thing.
But I followed the rules.
My own thing was,
and it starts with each of us.
My own thing was to save money. I figured that because of how expensive driving lessons are in the UK, let me learn in Nigeria first, and then so that when I come back to the UK, my lessons will not be plenty. And I don't have to
makes
pay
sense.
That was my whole thing. That was what I did.
Makes sense.
Nigeria first to take some things out of the way, and then come back and do a little bit.
But there are driving schools in Nigeria. There's AA.
I know, in Nigeria. Please, I'm telling
people
you,
don't do the right thing.
Nigerian kid, especially the average Nigerian rich kid or comfortable kid, is your driver, your father's driver that teaches you how to drive. Uncle Benno, how did you learn how to drive? Confess.
Me?
Yes, girls, men. Yes, men.
I think the first time I learned how to drive the very day I bought my first car.
You see, girls, our parents kind of make us do things the proper way. With the boys, it's hardly ever improper. It's hardly ever proper. Uncle Ben, how did you learn how to drive? Uncle Dio, you to confess. Tell us how
I learned how to drive when I bought my first car.
When?
That is like, is it not 2010 or 2011?
In the US or in Nigeria, Uncle Ben?
In Nigeria.
So how did you learn how to drive? That's not the question.
I just told you now when I first buy my first car.
Who taught you? Did you go to school? Who taught you? That's what we mean.
Which school? You
just got behind the wheel and still driving.
Behind the wheel. My friend, I was Sabi drive them my side. Now, I hold it with 2 hands.
Nigerian men.
My motto, Timba call anything, I fix here. That's how.
Ask your husband. Number 5, ask your husband how we know how to drive. Uncle Dion needs to confess.
Let me also tell you something, Abby.
Yeah.
I have driver license 2 years in Nigeria before I learn how to drive.
Can you see?
We don't know.
Now what?
2 years.
I'm telling you that I remember. Do you know what?
And that's the way for most of us, actually.
That's how it is for most Nigerian kids. Let me tell you what happened. My brother drove my dad. He drove a car in the house to his prom and crashed for my dad. My dad was not around. He crashed. And my parents beat him because the anger was, what if you killed yourself? They beat him. So I'm not thinking, how did my brother know how to drive before my dad put him into driving school? Because that's how Nigerian boys are. I don't know if they watch
they find a way. They somehow, I don't know.
Most Nigerian boys can drive before they learn how to drive.
Abby, this is not boy again. No carry us go boy again.
No. Uncle Benno, I think the point that Abby's trying to make is that for society to get better, right, it starts with the little things, and it starts with each of us. It's small, tiny drops of water that make a mighty ocean, and it's things as little as driving. It's things as little as even littering. Like, do we litter? Do we have, when you're driving, you see someone just throw an empty bottle of Coke out their window. The thing, it irks me. Don't get a polythene bag, put your rubbish inside when you get to a bin, chuck it. What's so difficult in that?
See Biba, you see them? I want more body.
Uncle Benno. But that's the correct way to do it now.
I want to see money go.
Uncle Beno, no, what I'll say is that you didn't have to use AA, right? It's okay, even in the UK, right? You can be taught by a family friend. The thing though is that you shouldn't be driving on the motorway without passing the test. So you should pass the test, and you shouldn't get a driver's license without passing the test. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, you can get a license without passing the test.
Exactly.
That is the problem. That's why I'm saying is
It
better.
doesn't have to be AA. It can be your
Also,
uncle,
she
father,
thinks
brother,
that they don't
anybody.
do. She thinks that they don't do theory tests. Go and ask them what this sign and that sign means. They don't know because first of all, are there even signs in Nigeria?
Woman be gone. Theory.
No,
Oh,
I'm just trying to put things to
me.
perspective,
Uncle Beno, me, my mother tells me that in her time in the 19 Korodo, she in Nigeria did theory test before she did practical test. Now things have devolved. Things are not getting better, and we're even these lower standards that we have, we're still not upholding them.
May
Are
God
we doing the right thing? No.
May God help us. We Nigerians, we have a long way to go, and we have so many things to fix. Among we the masses first, because now the masses now then they become leaders. That's why the OT they did was. And
100%.
Niger, there are some things that it is ingrained in us. We don't even think of how to do away with it. You see this driving thing where will they take play now? Did you know that my daughter, many of her age mates here, when they want start to learn how to drive, now driving school now that they go they pay 1 hour. I think 1 hour in driving school now is like is it 120 or how much? Maybe
It's like
100
£50
plus.
in London
In
now.
the UK, you have to get like 2 hours. You can't even get 1 hour.
Yeah.
And those 2 hours is like 80
Yeah.
or 90 pounds.
You think I know in London now it's like
You
£50
know,
per hour.
you know what?
It's like how much?
It's like £50 per hour. It has increased.
Yeah, about that.
It's
Yeah.
expensive now.
Yeah.
You know what happened? Even my daughter friends, our friends that they pay me they go learn. When he reach my turn, make una no laugh me. My daughter, daddy, okay, when are we gonna go and register for the driving school? That because blessing, which driving school? Carry key, enter motor, enter, I will teach you. I tell her, oh yeah, we are not going to drive first. Sit down there. The first thing you want to practice, uh, uh brake transmission. Okay,
Uncle Beno,
gas.
there's nothing wrong with that. Your daughter is fortunate. I don't.
Now she's driving herself up and down. Now I just sit down because the now driving permit now she still get, but that's how she learned. Can't see even the one where they go the driving school, they can't even drive as her right now.
Uncle Beno, there's nothing wrong with
we just
what
said
you
that
did.
that's
What you
what
did
we
is even
did as well.
fantastic.
That's what we. I mean, that's what I did technically, but obviously in the UK, there's still requirements before you write the test. You have to do a couple professional.
And she's fortunate to have a father who can teach her how to drive. A lot of people are spending a lot of money, so there's nothing wrong with teaching your child how to drive. In fact, it's a blessing to be able to learn that from your father. The one thing that I'll say, Uncle Beno, please bear with me. I think this may be the last thing I'll say because I have to run. But the last thing I'll say is that you see, if anybody can give dear Uncle Dangote this advice, it will be that the truth is, as much as he may have settled Phyna's father and he may not have obvious legal liability at this moment, and I chose my words carefully, obvious legal liability at this moment on the matter of Ruth. If the news, social or traditional, continues to talk about the poor habits of his drivers, if his insurance company is based in Nigeria, or he may also be the owner of the insurance company, which would be a conflict of interest, then maybe he can get away with it. But if it's an insurance company worth their salt, operating under the licenses that they're supposed to be operating under, and know that they should be risk averse, then the chickens can still come home to roost. So it is in his best interest. Sheon Kuti, there was a 2 minute 30-second video on Tunde Ednot's page today of early in the morning of Sheon Kuti talking about you are the wealthiest man in Africa. Can we do something about your drivers? Can the great responsibility that you have and the great gift that God has given you to build such a massive company? Let's not talk about the things that many Nigerians consider to be exploitative practices. Okay, let's keep that aside for now. Can we just exercise the same level of magnanimity or care or the vast wisdom that you have, that you built a refinery, can we build solid drivers? Can we pay them well? Can we require the highest standards of them? Can they have regular training? Can they have the required rest stops that truckers should have? Can they have the required licenses proven that are tested every so often? Can they please drive vehicles that are roadworthy? Can they please be given some sort of award for a number of safe journeys that they have, so that they for them, their own safety it's an incentive to them as well, and the safety of the other road users? Can we find a way? Can trucking companies, not only Dangote, do something to reduce? There are things that can be done, and you increase the public trust in you. But if you carry on like this, your insurers, if they are worth their salt, will begin to blink.
Thank you, my sister. Before you go, Uncle Dayo say he has a question for you. I don't know
Yes, sir, Uncle Dayo.
Dayo, he hasn't dropped it. Drop the question, Uncle Dayo, so I can highlight it. Thank you, Shitika, for that take about Dangote, but unfortunately, I have a different approach. Dangote is not going to fix anything. Dangote is a capitalist. He's not going to
Absolutely.
fix anything. Tinumbu,
That's why he's the richest man in
as well
Nigeria.
as whoever is occupying the position of presidency in Nigeria, they are the one we should hold. There is something called check and balances here in America.
Yeah.
They have another one they called oversight. In America, everybody, they watch everybody. That's one thing that make America the best. Here in America, those Americans in the chat, please listen to what I want to say and confirm whether I'm lying or this thing. For America, your director, the person will be your gakpatapata for your work, he is reporting to somebody somewhere. If there is nobody at the top that is checking him, somebody under him is evaluating him. Now, so you take as I did like this, person where they work under me, my tech, that they evaluate me. My oga, if they monitor me, me too, and they monitor my tech, and they monitor my oga. Everybody can report anybody. It's called check and balances. Thank you, Oyi. It's all about regulation.
Yep.
That's all. No favoritism.
You're very right, Uncle Benno. You're very right.
People should do what they are meant to do. The Department of Transportation is there. What are you doing? You have VIO, you have road safety, you see all of them. They are just looking for money. Bunch of stupid people. I'm sorry. So I don't blame Dangote. Dangote is a businessman. I said it here one time on our platform. All the time I'm spending in US, sometimes when I'm alone, I would just think I would diverse. You know why? Where I see myself say, I suppose day now, I swear to God, with all the knowledge where I get with everything, if I go Nigeria, give me 2 to 3 years. I go, the thing where I go, money where I go don't make. You go past waiting, I don't make for America here. You know why? Because there are several loopholes in Nigeria. As a capitalist, there are so many loopholes, so many things you can get away with. So don't expect a capitalist to say he won't do it to go cost them money. Uncle Daya was saying something earlier when he was in the studio. Because I said today we are not doing pushback. That's why I did pick it up. Uncle Daya was saying, oh, we should leave Dangote. Dangote may not even know that the people in charge of his transportation department are hiring people who are less qualified driver. I wanted to push back on back. And my pushback is that Dangote knows every goddamn thing where they go for a company. Is he not looking at the salary? They don't they send out the payroll. You want them to say, Dangote don't know how much they pay those drivers. A qualified driver, will they receive the amount what Dangote they pay?
I
don't know
mean,
if you get what I'm saying.
he does, but I think what it is that it's not on a daily basis. So,
no, even though it's not on a daily basis.
It's not as often. So I'll give you an example. And that's why I said numbers matter a lot. And that's what the VDMs do for us, right? Because what it does is that it pushes Dangote to be like, bring it, let me see. Because even within Dangote's company, there still has to be so, unfortunately, because of how big those sort of corporations are, most of the time, what you find in lots of corporations that you have people even within the corporations that cut corners for their own sake.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Thank you, Gary.
correct me if I'm wrong. We see this all the time with a lot of companies, and it's always an issue. There's going to be he can't have his eyes everywhere, and that's what this noise is supposed to create, so as to force him to look into things.
That I agree.
You are right.
Dangote will not see majority of things, Uncle Ben. I assure you.
Abby, you are right. If not the way VDM making that video, and then Phyna also forgetting, then I'm going to be that one way just the top blah blah that woman.
Well, it's not easy.
Uncle Beno, we love Easy.
Don't do it.
We love Easy.
I don't care.
Easy Ogbede.
My own team say if person they talk nonsense where you not supposed to talk nonsense, the person
no. What she said was actually the thing is maybe you didn't listen to all the things she said, and at the same time that she was saying it, but she made a lot of sense.
Who?
Easy Ogbede. Yes, Easy Ogbede. She made a lot of sense.
She should go and sit her butt down. I don't care.
No vex now.
Her bum is big, so no
it's big, Sha. Yes, she'll be comfortable.
She can sit down.
You say what?
Uncle Beno, Abby said that at least her bum is big. If she sits down, she'll be comfortable.
I like the bum. I think
wow, Uncle Ben, wow.
The first video I saw of her, the bum where she they take the proof. This 3 inches, he cannot do something. This thing is big. It was funny. But in this particular case, I don't like what they're doing. Because the only thing that could have made Dangote to do the right thing is when people like Very Dark Man and every other person, they expose him to the rest of the world. To the rest of the world, Dangote na sent to the richest billionaire in Africa. So
yeah, but what happened was that distraction was VDM's fault, and then he now started against him. Easy, and Easy too had to start giving it back to him, to VDM Basbos. So that was the distraction. Sister
Shitinka, VDM and Easy, they already got their Basbos going
before this matter. Yes, that's true.
They already get their stuff going. But anyway, I blame the government. They should just do the right thing. If we think this will be the end of it all, I don't think so. Nigerian roads are not good. Those trailers and those cars, they were not supposed to be plying the same road. I told somebody one time anytime I go do my hustle, I go to Dallas frequently. Dallas, Houston, and they go there where. Sometimes where they go for Dallas, mostly, it's like 3 hours drive from where I am. But whenever you are going to Dallas, the average speed you're going to be on is like 80 miles an hour. 80 miles an hour is around 111 kilometers per hour.
It's more. It's like 130.
Right?
Because here we do 70. Yeah, so it's like 130. 130 kilometers.
Yeah, 70 is around 110. Then 80 goes.
Yeah.
The average speed you're going to be on is 80 miles an hour. And then if you have a very good vehicle, because me, I like vehicle, we say it did rugged for traveling. If you have a very good vehicle that has HDA, highway driver assist, you go fly. You don't even know when you reach where you go. Because most vehicle they drive himself mostly. Now, I told my friend in Nigeria that because one time my friend was on the phone with me, I was leaving my house, I was going to Dallas for a coverage. I told my friend that where I am going to is 240 something miles. I forgot exactly now, but it's 240 something miles from my house. When you check from Lagos to Onitsha, it's close to that. So I now told my friend that where I'm going, it'd be like from Lagos to Onitsha. He was on the phone with me. When I enter moto, my phone connect with my car, we were talking. So at the point I said, look, I have to concentrate on driving. By the time I reach where they go, I call him back. He said, Ben, should take a break. When I not do stop anywhere that I'm already where I'm going. He could not believe. He said, but you said this place is as far as Lagos to Onitsha. Why am I emphasizing this? In Nigeria now, if you leave Lagos, from Lagos to Ijebu, you don't even know where you will meet for road. If you don't fall for road. Lagos to Ibadan is 1 hour 45 minutes. I think, is it up to 1 hour 45 minutes, Seth?
No, it's supposed to be less. So about an hour, 20 hour, 30 minutes, if that.
But sometimes you can spend 3-4 hours on that road.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
trailer block that road. So what are we talking about?
Expressway.
I remember one time I went to Ado Ekiti. She not carry me go Ado Ekiti. You know, when you get motor go, they push you. That was the first time I went through that. I follow Ibadan side, go Ado Ekiti. Come see me and trailer, they drag for road. I don't drive go Osogbo before. One trailer, I follow that trailer for almost 1 hour for back. I know if you overtake them. The trailer is not fast. We are climbing mountain, we are coming down. Vehicle, the road not too big there. It be like they don't expand that now. I know dare overtake that trailer. When I want trailer, that's when you go carry and call. You know this trailer, the way they go, they dance here and there for the road. So what are we saying? The government has so much to do. One content creator called Umai out, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. He showed Umai the road that link, is it Benin to somewhere in the east or somewhere? That road was terrible. One truck fell. 111 fell there. He don't finish. The one where they go, no fit go. The one where they come, no fit come. Umai and Tinubu, they said that they build coastal highway from Lagos to Kano. So these are bigger issues. People are dying every week in Nigeria. Now, because I said this one gain attention. Do you know how many times some people have complained that Dangote motor, not only Dangote self, others, the truck goes spoil for road. They're not going to even put sign to one driver say, motor don't break down more. Unsuspecting commuter go to come. PM. Bam. They go hit the motor from back. The next thing they go come tow the Dangote vehicle come out, or whichever trailer, they go tow and come out. People go come back in the morning. When they see the dead body for ground, see motor we don't get accident. So the government need to do something.
Very sad.
They need to do something. And that is why they pay me every time, say, we Nigerians, we are not ready. We don't focus on what is necessary. We are easily distracted. Everybody want to be relevant on social media because of money. I remember Auntie B was saying one time that this monetization ain't go cost wahala for Nigeria. Since Facebook and the like, when they don't go carry monetization, go Nigeria, you go even see people, some things where they're not supposed to show for internet, they go they show and say na content. So please, fellow Nigerians.
Uncle Beno, I think I answered Uncle Dio's question earlier, but I will try and answer it very briefly now, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. So, Uncle Dio, the thing is, first of all, it seems as if the family are not singing from the same hymn sheet. It seems as if Phyna's father and Phyna herself have different goals in terms of pursuing justice. But if the family was to come together and have the same goal and speak from the same podium on the matter, then what they'll be suing for will probably be negligence, wrongful death, and it will be a civil matter. So they'll be suing for damages because there was a duty of care, and that duty of care was breached, as Dee explained in her comments. So that's what they'll be suing for. The question is whether or not they'll get adequate judgment from the court. The way our court, there was something that Olisa Agbakoba, he was once the chairman of Nigerian Bar Association a few years ago. There was something he said in 2022 that I find very instructive, and I'm going to say it here. He said that there was once a time where in our justice system, you could compute a certain series of facts into the justice system and come out with a reasonable degree of certainty as to where the court will land in terms of their judgment on the matter. Unfortunately, with the way things are in Nigeria over the last few years, we can't do so anymore. That was the former chairman of the NBA, and I cannot be more learned than my Oga.
That your senior.
My big senior.
We have to round up now. I really enjoy having the opportunity to do this show today, and God can help me. Quality people help me break and down. Thank you, Shitinka. I love you, my sister. I thank you every time you call me like this. You help me make it make sense. Abby, thank you very, very much.
And I have something that I want us to do before you go.
Okay, ma'am.
It has nothing to do with she think as between me and you and the public. Are you
I
ready?
don't want to do any bad.
I know it's not Basbos. I just want you to say something. Are you ready?
Okay.
Say I.
Why should I say I?
Just
You
start. Just
you
wait.
want to
Just say
gaslight me
I.
again, Abi? You want gaslight me?
No, just start. Say I.
How will I say I? Like kò lè work.
Just wait, Uncle Benno. Just wait. It's an exercise.
Which
Just
exercise?
say I, Uncle Benno.
No. Over Kamimo corner.
You see that Uncle Benno doesn't like peace. Uncle Benno, say I, Uncle Benno.
Okay, I.
Uncle Benno.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Uncle Benno, just say it now. You don't even know where I'm headed. Just say I, Uncle Benno.
I. Mm-mm-mm-mm. You know here
Put
I.
it out here publicly that Abby does not cause me any trouble. Because you guys can see that I've been very peaceful today. I did not bash those